Morning guys, we are in Ambleside, the Lake District, and today we're going to do quite a well-known walk, but first we've got to get to the start point, which is in a place called Grasmere. At the moment we're in Ambleside, and as you can see behind me, right by the town church, we're going to walk through the park, which is down here, and get to the river. And then we're going to do a right. Lots of different ways we can get to Grasmere from here. I think we're going to go over the top of a nearby fell. Let's see how it goes. So when you cross over the river, you do a right and then immediately a left, and you're going to come up this steep hill which will lead onto Loughrigg something. Anyway, up we go, up this road, which is, as I say, it's quite steep. Which is probably the steepest peak of the actual trail. So yeah, it's quite a nice morning for November. Well, yeah, the hat had to come out sooner or later. And look, the sun is just sort of poking its head up. A mist on the valley below. And we just reached the top of that road we were climbing. And now we're entering the top of the fell. So, got a bit more climbing to do, but it's not difficult. And we're following the main path. Make sure that you follow the main path. What we're going to be doing is going in this direction, and then there's going to be a point where we do a right, and that's going to be some way off yet. But nice views across the valley at the moment. Very nice, and it's such a calm day. And I know it's going to rain later, but at the moment it's delicious. Look at this. Okay, it's about a mile now since we started, and over on the right hand side there's a hill, and you can see a little trail going up it. We're going to head over there, just coming up to a gate at the top of this little rise. So we're going to go through here and take the right. Again, we're following the main path. So here we are coming up to that right hand turn, which seems like it's straight on, but it's actually a right, because that is straight on with this path. But we want to go over the fell, so that's going to be the way that's going to take us in a totally different direction. It will end up in the same place, but you're going to go through, and I think Loughrigg Tarn is around there as well, which Tarn is a small lake, if I've not explained that before. So yeah, we're going to do some climbing next up that hill. There's Ambleside in the background, probably the last time you'll see it until the return. Just at the top of that little raise there is a bit of a split path, but at one point where it gets a bit technical, you can go round to the right. Both parts lead to the same way, but we're getting more of the views up here, which is nice. Okay, so a little bit further on we get our first view of the fell that we're going to climb, which is Loughrigg, and it's up to our left hand side. You probably can't see the tiny little trig point on the top. So yes, we just don't go right, follow the path to the left, up, over, and then we're going to get a good view of Grasmere from there. As you come across the corner, you get a lovely view of Loughrigg Tarn, which is just down there. And at the point where I said if you wanted to do a left, you could have gone around these higher bits and into that. Then there's a path on the other side, you can follow it round, so you're missing out this lump, but obviously you don't get the views. So onward we go. We're going down this path and up onto this, I say final bit, but the final climb. Well everyone, we've made it up to the top of Loughrigg Fell. It's a bit windier up here, but I think you can still hear me. That in the background is Windermere. Let's have a quick view of what we can see. Okay, right, in the background you can see a lake, not too far away. That's Grasmere, and the village behind it is also called Grasmere. We're going to head over this peak here, go down towards the lake, and then we start our journey back to Ambleside. Someone's lost their hat. The route we'll be taking is down here, through a little path, just through the woods and then down, and then we're going to follow the path around the edge of the lake. When we get to a certain point we have to go up and on the road, finishing Grasmere. You can go along the bottom where the weir is, across the bridge, across the road, and then onto the Coffin Route on the way back that way, or you can go across the bottom, and then you'll see there's a path here, and then you go a right, and then you can just see Rydell Water just there, and then you follow that back towards Ambleside. So lots of different routes. We're going the long way, so down we go, and there's quite a few steps here, and some parts are a little bit technical, so not that you really need your hands, but you've got to be very sure-footed, so just be aware of that. Wear some decent shoes. Okay, we've finally come to the bottom of these steps, and as you can see there's a bit of a choice with the route, depending on which way you fancy. I'm going to go left and into the woods, and there's some nice, because it's autumn, in fact just gone autumn, hopefully there's going to be some nice views through there. Right will take you back towards Ambleside. There you go, there's the right, there's your weir down the bottom, this is where we're going. And as I said, we're going to Grasmere, so if you don't fancy walking back, you can always get a bus. And of course you can do this both directions. Or you can just do the Coffin Route on its own, or this one on its own. So you've got lots of different options there. Through this little kissing gate. And we're going to do a right here. There you go, look at that for a sight, beautiful. High Close Estate, Deer Bolts Woods. Okay, so coming down the path, you're going to see this little cottage here, and this leads to a road. We're not going to go down the road, we're going to go down the path, which is left. Walk ahead. We're going to go down to the path and then along the bottom. I've got to say the colours are still beautiful, and even in this sort of light, everything looks quite incredible. Lots of beech trees around here with very golden colours. It's quite a contrast to the sky and the lake below. So we're coming down, and when we get to the bottom we're going to do a left, follow the path where these people are, and walk towards Grasmere. Now Grasmere has a cottage called Dove Cottage, which is a National Trust place, and that used to be the home once of William Wordsworth, the poet, who lived quite a long time ago around here, and he's quite famous. And if you want to visit, you can get a ticket from them, and according to my sources, that ticket will last all year, so you can keep on going back, or you can become a member of the National Trust, which means you're giving back to the environment, because they look after paths like the one we're walking on now. The lake looks very calm, so it looks like we're going to get some nice photos down there. Beautiful, in fact. So I keep following the path around. It's going to come up towards a house on the hill, and then we follow the path which actually leads back onto the road. When we get to the road, we're going to do a right and then follow the road back into town. Now, when you're walking on the road, always in Britain, walk on the right hand side so you can see traffic coming towards you. That's important. So yeah, as you can hear, it started to rain and it has got a bit gloomier, but we did manage to get some decent pictures in first of all, which is nice. So keep following the road, and eventually, which is where I am, you're going to come to a T-junction, which means you're going to do a right or a left, and we're going to go right. Here is that junction, and this is the point where we should find a path. We're going to go past that yellow church there, which is an interesting colour. Right, so we're doing our right now, going past this church. In Grasmere you'll find that there are lots of shops and restaurants and bars and things like that. So it's a good place to stop, and approximately we've done about 5 miles so far to get to here. So again, it's a little bit shorter on the way back, it's fairly straight, but if you don't fancy that, you could always get a bus from here back to Ambleside. But we're going to do the whole hog, so I'm going to just literally have a quick bite to eat and then go straight through Grasmere. I'll join you on the other side, which is where we start our walk back, and that's at Dove Cottage. Okay, so we've gone through Grasmere, and I can recommend the tea rooms, and there they do some lovely homemade food. This is the Wordsworth ticket office and museum. We're going to start just to the right of this, and behind this is Dove Cottage. So, as I say, if you want to go in there and have a look around and get up close and personal, then you need a ticket, but for free, like I am, you can just walk past. And this is Dove Cottage. Okay, I've got some rain on the lens, it's a bit misty, but we're following the path up anyway, that's what we're doing. Okay, we're coming up to a crossroads here, and as you can see, the road splits into two. One way goes back to Ambleside, but we're going to go up. So yes, there is a little bit of climbing with this out of Grasmere, and then it does go lumpy and bumpy back towards Ambleside. But this is the way. So we will follow this. Right, eventually you're going to come to a little cottage on the right hand side and a sign. And on that sign it says White Moss. We are going to go up to what is known as the Coffin Route. You can go down that direction.
12 minutes.
Ooh. But yeah, so we do a left here, keep on walking until we get to another signpost, which is going to take us right. Okay, so there is no sign, you just keep on walking. And you'll find that there is a wall on your right hand side, and some of it overlooks the lake. And the idea is you follow this route. Now, why is it called a Coffin Route? Maybe we should ask someone who knows. Okay, so I'm doing the Coffin Route, which is from Grasmere back to Ambleside. Why is it called the Coffin Route?
So the Coffin Route is actually an old track that historically was used to transport the deceased to be buried at St. Oswald's Church in Grasmere. Back in the day, that was the only consecrated burial ground in the area, so coffins were literally carried along this road. So that's where the name comes from. Nothing spooky about it today, though.
There you go, co-pilot always knows. Right, come to another cottage and we're going to do a right. And as long as you've got the wall on your right, you're going in the right direction. So there you go, you know all about why it is called the Coffin Path now. Fantastic. Let's have a little peek over the top, shall we? Well, for the life of me, I can't imagine carrying a coffin through here. It must have been absolutely horrendous. There are ups and downs and very rocky terrain and everything. So, no matter which way you go, that's up and over. Let's check we've shut the gate. Yes, getting pretty ugly now, although it's not raining hard. And as you can see, we're still walking with the wall on the right hand side. On a nicer day, there is a very nice view here. Still, this is Rydell water, and when we walked this morning, we came across the top here and then down the other side. It's getting rather nasty. Well, we finally reached the end, and we're going to go through this building now. So follow the route to the tea rooms. We're going to do a right. Well, here we go. Going to do a left here. Follow this round to the tea rooms. From the tea rooms, you're going to go straight through, over the river, straight over past the campground, and then there's a lovely little open bit which will take us back towards Ambleside. Hopefully, I'll join you on some of that journey soon. Well, we're through Rydell Hall and the tea rooms, etc. So there's another stop for you if you wanted to do that. And we're into the open meadowy sort of section. The main road runs alongside over there. Don't think you can see it, and of course there's no one driving past when I want. But yeah, you're protected by 2 fences. Stay on the path. All the rest is owned by Rydal Hall, I believe, but it is farmed. So this path will take us back towards the road, actually. So we're going to follow this all the way to the road, and then we jump on the road for the last 500 metres or so. And I've got to say, I've got a new hat. It's a waterproof bucket hat, and I tell you what, it is absolutely amazing. In fact, it's more waterproof than the jacket I've got on. Everything's dry up here. Down below, it is a bit of a soak. We've got some cows, and as you can see, they're all lying down, apart from this one, because it's raining. Right, I'm going to be quick because the battery's running out. We're nearly at the end of this little walk. There's going to be a gate here. When we get onto the main road, we do a left and walk back into Ambleside. I will join you from Ambleside because my battery, and then I can say my goodbyes properly. I'm really wet. Well, hello from inside the cottage, and as you can see, I am dressed differently, which means I've had a shower, etc. But yeah, the walk went well. Just an update on the distances. Obviously, on the way to Grasmere from Ambleside, it was around about 5 miles. Although we did go over the fell, so obviously that does put a little bit of effort into it as well. There are other ways you can go as well, but also you could, if you wanted to, you could get a bus there and then just do the second part of the walk on its own. Speaking of that, the mileage for that was just over 4 miles. It's a fairly straight route on the way back, and hopefully you'll get a little bit better weather than I did, which was pretty rubbish on the way back from Grasmere, I have to say. Speaking of which, as I say, if you wanted to, you could just do the first part of the walk and then get a bus back from Grasmere. So lots of different options there with that walk. All round, it's about just under 10 miles. So yeah, a day's walk, stop off halfway Grasmere, get some food, and then walk back. A good all-round hike. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any thing you'd like to add, then please do below. And yeah, have a good day. See ya.